What is up, guys? What is up, family? What is up, family? Welcome back to the channel and welcome. Let me go ahead and pull it up on the screen now. Y'all already know what it is, and if you don't know, you better find out. Y'all thought I was leaving you? Y'all thought I was leaving you? If you don't know, we've said it time and time again over on Bleeding BNG. We just like the team. The off season is our time to shine. The off season is our time to shine. So we just went from making Commander Caucus streams every Wednesday evening. We went from making Commander Caucus streams in season to our first version of Mock Draft Monday version 1.0. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome into the war room. And I'm sticking with the Commander Caucus background because I think it's so apt. Because unlike Commander Caucus, where you guys just dictate the entire stream. And while I appreciate everybody for joining us, thank you for spending your Monday night and Monday evening with us over here at Bleeding BNG. But unlike Commander Caucus, where you guys just dictate, y'all run it. Y'all got the script for time for me to put on my black, what just happened with the screen, but time for me to put on my Black Adam hat. Word to Adam Peters. Try to do a better job than Adam Peters, like I think I did last year if the draft would have played out like we wanted it to do over here at Bleeding BNG. But this is for all the armchair GMs out there. Shout out to all the armchair GMs, because we wouldn't be here without y'all. This is time for us to victory lap, and this is time for us to congregate about what our Washington Commanders need going into the 2026 season, because we got so many needs. We got so many needs. But before I get too deep into this video, you already know what I'm gonna say. Go ahead and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and if you wanna support the channel, you go ahead and hit the Cash App tag at the bottom or send a super chat, because just like one thing that's similar between our Mock Draft Monday streams and our Commander Caucus streams is that we give our super chats the rightful attentions that it deserves. We give our super chat all the influence, all the power. You damn near like second in line in the war room outside of me, Black Adam himself. You damn near second in line with your suggestions. So all super chats are appreciated. But if you can't send a super chat, go ahead and infiltrate the chat just with your thoughts. Because if you haven't tuned into a Mock Draft Monday stream in previous years, you might not know how we get down. But I'm trying to get out here as fast as possible today, to be as honest with you, because I do want to see some good playoff football. We've had a tremendous week of wild card playoff football, and I want to see the capper of it with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. So I do want to get out of here by 8:15, but I intend on doing best player available approach and a trade back approach as Adam, as the GM of the Washington Commanders. The reason that I say this is because I think we can go any which way. I think that we can go any which way, and to be 100% honest, while I was opposed to the trade back approach maybe a couple of weeks ago when it looked like we might have potential of having a top 5 pick, right? And y'all know I'm not going to harp on it. I'm not going to harp on it too long because y'all, oh man, why can we go for our team to lose? So I ain't going to harp on it too long. But when you step back and look at this roster, we got a plethora of holes. We got more than a plethora of holes. We look like Swiss cheese out there. That roster looks like Swiss cheese out there. And the trade back option might not be the worst approach possible. That's why I'm going to go with both approaches, and I'll probably do that throughout the draft season. We're going to do these every Monday leading up to the 2026 draft. But we have so little draft capital for us having one of the worst rosters in the NFL, and I don't think that that's hyperbole. I don't think that that's an exaggeration. That trade back might definitely be a scenario. Shout out to my guy George. George know how we get down. Pause. On Mock Draft Mondays. Mock Draft Monday version 1.0, the first one of the year. I'm super excited. Welcome. Thank you for joining me in the war room on your Wednesday evening and your Wednesday night. Going to use Pro Football Network's Mock Draft Simulator. because PFF only allows us to use the first 3 rounds unless you're paying for a subscription. And ain't nobody got time for that unless y'all hit that subscribe button or send a super chat. Then we can go ahead and pay for a PFF subscription. But as of right now, we're going to go ahead and use PFN, PFSN, Pro Football Sports Network, I believe, in their mock draft simulator. They've held us down in the past. There's no reason for us to deviate from them. Because Pro Football Focus, I don't know what's up with them. They feeling themselves. Because it's always been a thing for Pro Football Focus to eventually cut it off from having 7-round availability, 2-3 round availability. But that ain't never been the case this early in the offseason. Like, we used to have 7-round capability until about the combine. But now they like, nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Show me my coin. I get it, but you ain't seeing this. You ain't seeing this coin. Shout out my man Lil CD9 tapping into the show. Love, what it do? What it do, family? I appreciate you joining us in the war room for our first rendition of Mock Draft Monday version 1.0. Who else? Who else is in the stream? Who else is in the chat? My man George again. At least we helped ruin the Eagles season by winning and put them into their early 49ers game. I guess. Silver line is right, George. Small wins. And you got to take the small wins because we didn't have many wins at all this past year. But I'm done with looking towards the 2000 or looking back at the 2025 season. A wise man once told me it's a reason why the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. So I'm ready to look forward to 2026. 2025 is a season of the past, I believe. Well, it is the season of the past because we ain't playing right now. We ain't in the fucking playoffs. But I'm ready to forget that season and erase it from my memory. Because it was the season from hell. It was the season from hell. Like I don't know another way to put it. Like 2025, I've been so disassociated or tried to disassociate myself so far from the 2025 season that like it's not even funny. Like I've forgotten half of the shit that has happened over the course of the last couple of years. One thing I do know is that Jaden Daniels played not near a game this year. That's one thing that I do remember. And to be honest, while I don't ever want to see Jaden Daniels hurt, like I don't want to ever see him missing games. It could be a blessing and a curse. Because having a top 7 pick is an asset going into any offseason. It could have been top 5. Shit, if we lost to the Giants, it could have been top 1, but I ain't really ready to go into that because y'all know y'all hate when I think deeper than the surface. But this is the what can I call this? This is the circumstance that you put yourself in where the roster's so shitty where, yeah, we got a blue chip talent, right? So even like my man George in the chat said, if we stick and pick, I want Caleb Downs. And that's if Caleb Downs is going to be there at 7. Hopefully he is. We know that safeties don't typically get drafted inside the top 10 unless you're a demigod like Sean Taylor. But I truly believe that Caleb Downs is the best safety prospect since Eric Berry. And I think Eric Berry went in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, but it was definitely in the top 12. So if a guy like Caleb Downs is there at the 7th overall pick when we're drafting tonight, I would definitely take that into consideration. But we have so many holes. Like I can't turn my nose up at a hellified edge pass rusher like a guy like David Bailey. Like my man Just My Two Penny said, if we go defense, David Bailey for him. Offense, I take Jay Love. While I do like Jeremiah Love, I think 7 might be a little too rich for him. And I'm going to say this. And y'all hate when I toot my own little horn. Y'all know, hey, I'm all about self-love over here on the chat. But if y'all know, and y'all was tapped in to the channel last year, and some of the guys that we like in the 2024 draft, like this is not revisionist history. This is not revisionist history at all. Y'all know some of the guys that I like in the first round for Washington's pick, or even some guys that I even mentioned about, you know, them coming in their rookie seasons and balling. Y'all know my hit rate was pretty high. Y'all know how I was in love, with Nick Emmanwori. And Nick Emmanwori looks like he's about to be the defensive rookie of the year. Looks like a goddamn demon on that Seattle defense that's still playing as the number 1 seed in the NFC. And while Josh Connolly Jr., he's cool. He's nice. Nice might be a stretch. but he can be a good, long-term piece at the tackle position. And I know you can't, make declarations on the draft with only one season of data, but as of right now, don't tell me that you'll rather have Josh Conerly Jr. than Nick Emmanwori. Because the thing is, with the left tackle position and with any offensive line position when you drafting them, y'all say that y'all do that to, help the quarterback out as much as possible. You're never going to turn your nose up at the offensive line selection. And I totally understand it, right? But Josh Conerly getting his head beaten for the first 8 weeks of the season didn't help Jayden Daniels at all. It didn't. It didn't. So while I get the premise of it when you say it, and while I'm not here to run any victory laps, because Josh Conerly Jr. can very well turn out to be an all-pro tackle, I have my doubts about that happening. But after 1 year, you'll be a fool to tell me that Josh Conerly Jr. was a better pick than Nick Emmanwori. Some of the edges that we like. I like the guy like Mykel Williams. Now, Mykel Williams, it got injured in San Francisco. And while I even mentioned when we were drafting or looking at him as a prospect last year, I don't think he's going to be a guy to come in and be your 10 sack a year guy as a rookie. But Mykel Williams would have helped that fucking piss porous ass run defense that we had this past season. Eric Berry was a top 10 pick, and oh my God, was he worth it before he? Yes, he was. Eric Berry was such a goddamn dog. Cancer ruined Eric Berry from having one of the greatest safety careers ever. The prospect. Did the stream just freeze on the boy? Yeah, the stream is tweaking. I don't know what's going on, but my man George said, whoa. Let's get back. Let's get back at it. I don't know what's going on with this Wi-Fi. The stream is tweaking, but we're back. Hopefully. If we traded back and got Love at 11, 12, or 13, that would be fire. And that's why I'm going to take both approaches. We're going to do 2 mock drafts, and I need to hurry up if I want to be out here before 8:15. But yeah, let's see. We're going to take a best player available approach, and we're going to take a trade back approach because this roster needs both of them if we're being 100% honest. We can only go with one, but this roster could be a beneficiary of both of those approaches because we lack blue chip elite talent. And we also have Hella Rose on this roster. Your Nick Emmanwori pick. I appreciate it. He was a goddamn dog. If you watched him in South Carolina and knew what you was watching, you could have known that Nick Emmanwori was going to be a defensive chess piece. And that's something that you need is versatile defenders in the 2025 NFL. Shout out my guy, Tracy. Yes, we back. Thank you for joining me in the War Room. Spending your Wednesday night, Wednesday evening with us over here in the War Room. And like I said, I think that the Commander Caucus background is appropriate because it's like me still listening to y'all. I am Black Adam, no Rocky at all. But I still got to take, listen to the voice of the caucus like Adam Peters does on actual NFL draft weekend. JC is young with a high ceiling, kid ain't even grown facial hair yet. Absolutely. I'm not here to write the book on Josh Conerly Jr. at all. And like I said, we typically don't want to make declarations after one season in the NFL. But if I'm big on no gray area, right? I'm big on black and white, right? And based off of the year's worth of data, the year's worth of evidence that we have, if somebody was to come to you and let's say you were doing a 2025 NFL redraft, right? Nobody is taking Josh Conerly Jr. over Nick Emmanwori. That's it. I'm not saying that Nick Emmanwori is going to be a better pro. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I was a Nick Emmanwori guy right now. And if you ask me as of January 12, 2026, was he a better pick than the one that Adam Peters actually made? I would say so. Because some would argue that Josh Conerly Jr. was a luxury pick after some guys tout Brandon Coleman a little higher than I think that he should be touted, to be 100% honest with you, because while I think Brandon Coleman is talented, that nigga gets hurt at least once a game. And you can't rely on that. Like that nigga gets hurt at least once a game, and you can't rely on that. So having a guy like Josh Connolly Jr., who is dependable, I think he played 100% of the snaps, is beneficial. At work right now, but I'll pop up with my crew for your next stream. Add me on Discourse username. All right, I got you, gang. I got you. I got you. It's Monday. What I say? Wednesday? Ah, shit. We still in season form. We still in season form. I ain't hit Cancun yet like the rest of the team. All right, man. That's enough of me rambling. That was 15 minutes of me rambling. Let's go into the mock draft. We'll start with which I want to start with, the best player available approach or the trade back approach. 7 rounds. You know, the Commanders don't have a lot of draft capital. I think we going into the 2026 draft initially with only 5 picks due to the Laremy Tunsil trade, as well as I believe the Marshawn Lattimore trade, and he's as good as fucking dust. I can't wait to get Marshawn Lattimore off my fucking team. That is nigga out there doing Grand Theft Auto side missions. Going with the Washington Commanders, going at the normal pace. Let's see. What's the chat? Is the chat giving any suggestions? No, we just gonna go best. All right, bet BPA. All right, bet BPA. Tracy said BPA. Coleman is so. I don't disagree with you, bro. That's basically what I said, Tracy. I don't disagree with you. I said I believe that Coleman is talented, but the nigga gets hurt once a game. I don't disagree with you. I'll be remiss that if I don't mention before I get into the simulator, into the actual drafting. If you want to go ahead and support the channel, go ahead and send a super chat. Your super chat is going to get the rightful attention that it deserves. Y'all know how we did during Commander Caucus Live every Wednesday. That super chat jumped to the front, gave it the rightful attention, and you basically second in line next to Black Adam in the war room. I'm basically you basically my Marty Mayhew. Hopefully you can do a better job. But I don't know who Adam Peters' right-hand man is right now. I should have did that research before I pulled it up. I don't even know if Adam Peters has a right-hand man, the way that y'all make it seem like he got some type of dictatorship and he's involved in every move. But yeah, if you want to go ahead, support the channel by sending a super chat. Hey, I take your word just a little more intently and a little more keenly than the non-super chats. But let's get into it. Best player available approach, Ballin' and Burgundy podcast. Shout out to y'all. Start with your favorite players at each pick. All right, bet. So, best player available approach. I doubt that I do any trading back. We're gonna walk out of here with just 5 players. So we gotta hit. We gotta hit with the amount of holes that we have. Fernando Mendoza 1, Carnell Tate 2, Dante Moore 3, Arizona, Arvel Reese 4. See, I'm not going harp on it. I'm not going harp on it. But we have 4 trade offers. Y'all want me to go with the best player available approach, and I understand it. But as of right now, this is what happens when you want to win a fucking meaningless ass December game against the Philadelphia Eagles in a sense of pride. And like my man George said, I guess you got to find the small wins and the silver linings when it knocks you from having a top 5 pick and the opportunity of selecting Caleb Downs in this scenario and leaving you with some other guys on the board. Because as we can see, Keldrick Falk is off the board. Caleb Downs is off the board. Why can't I pull up the rest of? Why can't I pull up the rest of the draft pool? What's going on? I'm trying to see who else is off the board. I don't know where the toggle is, the cursor. But I think Dante Moore went off the board. Arvo Reese went off the board. So Ruben Bain is available. Jordan Tyson, Jeremiah Live, Spencer Fano, David Bailey. And since we're going with the best player available approach, while I think that Ruben Bain can help this defense tremendously, I think that he'll give you an edge presence as a run defender that you haven't had since Montez Sweat. 2 completely different body types, and I think that Ruben Bain can actually kick in inside and give you some juice as an interior pass rusher on passing downs. I think that this team is in need of more than just that. I think this team can use a hellified pass rusher that comes in and gives you a guaranteed 8 or more sacks as a rookie over a guy like Ruben Bain, who is probably the more complete defensive end. But I can't turn my nose at David Bailey. Keldrick Faulk actually was the first edge off the board. I think David Bailey is the best edge in the draft. If you watch his tape against Oregon, and I'm not just saying it because that was the most recent game he played, because we really tapped into college football. If you know, you know. David Bailey's tape against Oregon was some of the best tape that I've seen so far. So right now we have Ruben Bain, Jordan Tyson, Jeremiah Love, Spencer Fano, and David Bailey. If this was actually to play out in April and we were going with the best player available approach, we're not trading back. David Bailey, I'm running to the podium and I'm turning in the card. I actually think 11 on the big board is a little too low. But guess what? One man's trash is another man's treasure. And bring him and his no swag having ass. Bring him and his long t-shirt wearing ass. We can give him all the burgundy and gold long t-shirts that he wants. No glove having ass. So now we're going to have to draft David Bailey and send him to the team store up Northwest Stadium. Get him some swag, because looking the part is half of it. Deion Sanders told y'all that. But David Bailey at least plays the part, and that's the reason why I'm going to draft him with the 7th overall pick. How we feeling about that Bailey selection? Jeremiah Love comes off the board. Let's see. All right, back to the chat. How we feeling about that Bailey selection? How we feeling about that? Let's see. What the chat talking about? Remember last year on Mock Draft Mondays, we didn't do a single mock without picking an RB. Facts. And I think I said, and I should have, damn, Tracy, you're a real one, bro. Because I should have said it this year. Because I think I said it prior to us actually drafting in our Mock Draft 1.0 stream last year. And we didn't really get, y'all can follow the draft board as I'm talking, but we doing best player available. So we just going to take who's there. But I think I said it prior to me actually drafting in that 1.0 stream. I said my biggest intent going into the 2024 or 2025 NFL draft was drafting a goddamn running back. It was upgraded over Brian Robinson. And yeah, I thought that it might have came in the likes of Quinshawn Judkins or Travion Henderson in the first couple of rounds. But God damn it, I'll be damned if it didn't come in a bill. Corey Krosky married in the 7th round. I'll be damned. I think I'm in a couple of those. Leave out none of those drafts. I was intent on taking a running back and an edge, and everything we got a running back and an edge in all of them. And guess what? Adam Peters waited to the 7th round to get his running back, and he said, "Fuck an edge, We're gonna go sign 39,000-year-old Von Miller." So what do we know? But you're 100% right about that, Tracy. YT Rennie, what up, gang? How you? Thank you for joining us in the war room on your Monday night, spending your Monday evening with us. This team is always taking a player I don't expect, so I'm predicting Sadiq. Kenyon Sadiq, I ain't mad at that. I would definitely prefer that in a trade back scenario, but do y'all know what Kenyon Sadiq could do for this fucking offense? Man, I was watching, and shout out to Caleb, man. Shout out to Caleb. I know I was a big Caleb fan before the Chicago Bears fans ruined my opinion of him. Thank the fan base for that. But I was watching the playoff game with the Bears against the Green Bay Packers the other day. I was like, bro, do you know what this offense could be if Jaden had a Colston Loveland, bro? While I love Zach Ertz and what Zach Ertz has done in his first 2 years with Jaden Daniels, or his last 2 years in his career, but his 2 years with Jaden Daniels, Zach Ertz ain't pushing the ball down. He ain't threatening downfield like that. Like, he not hitting the seam with that full force speed like that, bro. Colston Loveland unlocks that offense, bro. And I will always be a believer in a tight end is one of the biggest pacifiers and security blankets for a young quarterback head up the seam, because you ain't got to worry about that much accuracy. You ain't got to worry about much body movement. And guess who's the likely target that's usually there up the middle, up the seam? A tight end. Well, you ain't got to be as accurate because the nigga's 6'5", 6'6". Then he out there dancing like young boy. Then he out there dancing like young boy, like he not a white boy from Idaho. I said, oh yeah. Shit done got serious. Man. But this offense desperately needs a Colston Loveland, Bailey or Tyson. Went Bailey. Bailey had 14 and a half sacks this year. Yeah, he's a demon. I know, gang. He's a goddamn demon. I think this fan base agrees the top 3 picks and Downs, Bailey, Bain. I miss enjoying to watch I agree, bro. I agree. And one thing, if you've been tapped into the playoffs and you watch the entire scope of the NFL, defense is back in vogue in the league. If you checked out my last podcast episode, you can't defend in the 2025 in modern day NFL without being able to have without being able to run match coverage. Something that it seems like we just fucking, it's like the Da Vinci Code to us. Like match coverage throws us in a fucking bind. I miss enjoying to watch defense as well. I'm a defensive guy at the end of the day. I play DB. And yeah, I agree, Mass Collector. Take the trade. We trading back in our next approach. But right now, this is just best player available approach. But we're definitely trading back in our next. We're doing 2 drafts tonight. I liked Harold Fanning Jr. in last year's draft. Imagine if JD. Facts. Harold Fanning Jr., he definitely would have did numbers in the Cliff offense. Because he's not just a traditional tight end, but I think he could have did numbers with us as well. Or with David Blau as well. So best player available approach. So we ignoring all these trades right now. So Lee Hunter from Texas Tech just went off the board. Drew Shelton, offensive tackle from Penn State, just went off the board. And on the board, we got some names. If you watch college football. You know we got some goddamn dogs. I could double dip and take 2 pass rushes. The Miami ends. He's old as fuck, though. I think he's about to be 26 as a rookie. And I don't think he's as complete as Ruben Bain is. I think Ruben Bain, the drop off between Mesidor and Ruben Bain as pass rushers isn't as big as the gap as Ruben Bain is superior to Akeem Mesidor as a run defender. But we got Oscar Delp. I love him as a tight end prospect. I just talked about how this offense desperately needs a tight end with juice. I know that we spent a 2nd-round pick on Ben Sinnott, but if we are running a more West Coast traditional offense, I think that he is a fullback. I've been saying that for fucking 2 years. I think Adam Peterson brought him in to be a hybrid fullback / tight end. And if we saw what Kyle Juszczyk just did as a fucking dinosaur, Kyle Juszczyk old as shit and was running amok against the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. I think that that's the vision for a guy like Ben Sinnott in a West Coast offense. But I think a guy like Oscar Delp can be that can be that Colston Loveland that I just mentioned. Where's the drop box? Why isn't it letting me scroll down? This is really bothering me. So I'm gonna have to highlight the scroll down. Okay. But we got Antonio Williams on the board. Michael Trigg is another intriguing name as well. Jonah Coleman. I like all these names. D'Angelo Pons just had a pick 6. We desperately need a cornerback because we got Mikey Sanders still out there starting on the boundary. I like all these names. And if you want to send a super chat right now and give me your opinion, we'll definitely take your opinion into consideration. But who are we liking right now? Mass Collector said maybe Trotter. I don't know if I'm rocking with Trotter. I don't know if I'm rocking with Trotter over some of these names that I'm seeing. Over Akeem Mesidor, over D'Angelo Pons. I don't know if I'm rocking with. I like Trotter. I think we can use some inside linebacker help. But I think we could get that later in the draft. Because I like Deontay Lawson as well. I don't know if I like Trotter more than I like Deontay Lawson, to be 100% honest with you. I think Oscar Delp is the pick right here. might very well be the best player available right here, but he's 76 years old, and I'm trying to get younger with this roster. And shit, our roster so old. Even bringing in a 26-year-old might drop the fucking age median a little lower or a lot lower. But I'm thinking Oscar Delp here. I think Oscar Delp could be a big beneficiary to this offense. And oh, whoa, we got a super. We got a super. We got a super. I told y'all we giving super chats the rightful attention that they deserve. Super. That's my Martin Mayhew. My man, bro. What's up with the chat? My man Jern said, "Pons. I ain't mad at Pons. I'm not mad at Pons. I'm not mad at Pons, Jern. I'm not. Shout out to you, Jern23. I appreciate the super. Like I said, I take those into consideration a little more. And then George comes down. He doesn't necessarily say a name, but he says linebacker or cornerback. Pons is a cornerback. Tracy said he wants to see what wide receivers are there. We can look, but I ain't mad at that Pons pick at all. I'm not. Pons has stepped up against every wide receiver this year. And yeah, Jeremiah Smith had a couple of reps against him, but that's fucking Jeremiah Smith, probably the greatest college wide receiver ever outside of Jamar Chase. I still don't think he's better than Jamar Chase. Yes, you're right. You're right, George. Shout out to OG Lance. My man Jordan is my Lance Newmark right now. We might be taking Pons, but just for the sake of my man Tracy and listening to the caucus, y'all know I gotta look out for the entire team. My man Tracy done hit the road as well. Let's go offense. Let's go wide receivers. Antonio Williams on the board, Zachariah Branch is on the board, Brendan Thompson, Josh Cameron. I like Williams. I like Branch as well. I don't know if I'm taking either one of them over Pons. How old is Pons? How old is Pons? I'm telling y'all, age matters, bro. Age matters. Jayden Daniels already old as dirt his damn self. Damn, they don't got that age. Pons is another guy that I guess if you still trying to figure out if Mikey Sanders still is a boundary corner or a slot, I think you can figure that out with Pons filling in the role that Mikey doesn't play. I think that they got similar playing styles. But if I think that Mikey Sanders still is a mismatch on the boundary, those are going to be the same questions that I have about D'Angelo Pons. I think that Pons, I'm curious to see how Pons tests. I'm curious to see what he runs and what his combine numbers look like. But I ain't mad at the selection because I think that they can be a scheme fit between Mikey, Trey Amos, and D'Angelo Pons. So while I might take Oscar Delp, D'Angelo Pons definitely fits one of the best player available approaches here. And Jern sent the super chat, so he's my Lance Newmark. So we're going to go D'Angelo Pons with the 71st overall pick. So we stocking up on defense right now. Our first two picks are David Bailey and D'Angelo Pons, two big program guys. It's crazy saying that Indiana is a big program, but two guys that have played in the college football playoffs, and two guys that I think can be instant contributors to your defense. Remember, this is the best player available approach. So we really just watching the board, but we just going to take whoever's there. We're going to trade back in the next draft that we do. And we definitely need to hurry up. We got 25 minutes until the game starts. Plenty of time. We got plenty of time. But how y'all feel about the first two picks, David Bailey and D'Angelo Pons? How you feel about it? Mass Collector said we need DB. So you like that Pons pick? You must like that Pons pick, huh, Mass Collector? You and Jern one and the same, filling out that CB room. I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. We do need DB. So guess what? You got a pass rush to help that rookie DB as well, and potentially help out Trey Amos and Mikey Sanders still in the David Bailey. You got your pass rush demon. So guess what? Those are two draft picks that can help each other. So how y'all feeling about my first two picks as Black Adam? Mock Draft Monday 1.0 stream, best player available approach. in the first mock draft that we do. We're doing our trade back approach after, because I think this team can use both some blue chippers and a lot of draft capital with a lot of actual assets. So we're back at pick 147 in the 5th round. We only have 5 picks if we don't trade back. So we don't pick in the 3rd and 4th rounds. No, we don't pick in the 2nd and 4th rounds. So we only have one day 2 pick. And then we pick again on day 3 in the 5th round. Pick 147. Nick Singleton's on the board. Carter Smith, Zane Durant. We've already selected David Bailey. We've already selected D'Angelo Pons. We've helped our cornerback room. We've helped our edge room. I'm trying to look at some offensive playmakers now because we need some juice. We were trying out Chris Moore. I might be faster than Chris Moore. Looking at the wide receivers, Deion Burks from Oklahoma is available. I think he's a more slot guy. Kevin Coleman Jr. I ain't loving this wide receiver. Romel, top guys as much as some of y'all do. I think Aaron Anderson can definitely be a guy. Outside of that, Baron Brown can be a playmaker with the ball in his hands, but we're not looking at either one of those guys in the 5th round, to be honest with you. I'm not loving this wide receiver pool at all. Romelo Brinson is a guy that has some juice. Yeah, this it's bleak. It's bleak. And this is my opinion about the draft as a whole. Top heavy. After that, the talent pool is shallow, to be 100% honest with you. So the best players on the board: Zane Durant, Nick Singleton. We draft another running back: Aiden Fisher, Taylor Green. Taylor Green's a quarterback from Arkansas. Tyreek Sapp. I wouldn't mind a Tyreek Sapp, but we've already gone edge. This is nasty. This pool a little nasty. Let me see. Is anybody giving their opinion before I hit the I'm thinking about going. Wide receiver class is disgusting, bro. I don't even like the top 5. I don't even love the top 5. I'm thinking about going Nick Singleton here, bro. Now I know he had I don't know. Nick Singleton, his year was rough. His year was rough. I'm thinking going one of the 3 Penn State guys' hands: Akeem Wheatley, Zane Durant, or Nick Singleton. But Nick Singleton, I don't know. I don't know about Nick Singleton. It's his year. It's like he lacked vision this year. That's what I didn't love. What's Zane Durant's measurables? 6'1", 288. So he'll be more of like a pass rushing interior guy. We already got defensive linemen that's light in the ass. I'm gonna go with the value pick here. Do we go Wheatley or Singleton? We go Wheatley or Singleton, y'all. I wouldn't be mad at Wheatley. I think he's a solid athlete. You stick with the trend of boosting up your defense. We need help. I think we need more help in that safety room than we do in the running back room. So, yeah, let's go Akeem Wheatley. All right, first 3 picks. I know y'all know about Akeem Wheatley. David Bailey, D'Angelo Pons, Akeem Wheatley. Got a pass rush and boosted up your secondary with the first 3 picks. You still out there going to be throwing to Chris Moore and fucking 270-pound Deebo Samuel and 46-year-old Terry McLaurin, but hey, that defense though. David Blough's gonna have to draw up the most innovative plays possible to get these niggas open. How we feeling about the first three picks? David Bailey, D'Angelo Pons, Zakee Wheatley. I like Zakee Wheatley. I think he could be a nice athlete. Rangy. I think he's probably more of a free safety. Long pause. Can stand to put on more weight. I'm looking at his age. God damn, he about to be 24. Shit. He about to be 24. So I mean, this class ain't no. I mean, this is COVID. This is the day and the age of COVID, man. All these rookies old as shit with NIL. Safety. All right, so we must have liked the Wheatley pick. I'm just tapping into the chat, but we must have liked the Wheatley pick. I mean, I go all in on defense. We don't have anybody outside of Trey Amos. I've said that's the only guy that I have penciled in as a building block for the future. And who knows how he's going to come back. I never loved DBs with lower extremity injuries. McLaurin bounce back, George. My man George said Terry McLaurin about to have a bounce back. I ain't mad at it. Because guess what? 2025 was so the bar was set so low for 2025. Like you can't go but up. Like Terry McLaurin's a talented player. So I mean, I expect him to have a better 2026 than he did in 2025. All right. So we're back on the board. 6th round. Pick 184, our second to last pick. We spent 3 Bailey, DeAndre Pons, and Zakee Wheatley. Back on the board. Best players available. Chris McClellan, Xavier Harris. I'm not even going to act like I know about some of these guys. I knew about everybody up until we got to this point. I need to go ahead and watch some of these guys. The best offensive players on the board, the best wide receivers on the board. Who are the best wide receivers on the board? Bro, they gotta add like every 10 seconds. Who are the best wide receivers on the board? I don't know why. All right, Lewis Bond. At this point, I might just take a project wide receiver and call it a day because we need somebody. We need some type of juice in that wide receiver room. I know Kevin Coleman Jr. I was actually looking for a bigger guy because I think that's what we need in this room. We definitely need somebody that can take the top off of the defense as well. Jan Miller, Noah Whittington. I think those are more 7th round running backs. John Michael Glenborg. Oh, I'm intrigued by Glenborg, but he looked like he might be another John Bates, bro. What the kickers looking like? We at that point in the draft. Oh, fuck no. All right, man. I'm going to go ahead and go with a name that I do know. We're going to go ahead with let's go with Lewis Bond. Bringing a project wide receiver at this point. Him and Jalen Lane could duke it out to see who's going to be the breakout wide receiver because y'all see that wide receiver class. It's slim pickings. Hopefully we can get a George Pickens in free agency. I love going on defense. Good picks. Appreciate it. Amos need to work on his tackling. I don't disagree, but I think he can still be he's still a building block for the future on this defense. He's the only prospect on this defense that you can say is probably going to be contributing on this defense 3 years down the line. Taft. I was looking at Taft, but we had just selected another. I think Taft and Wheatley are the exact same type of player. I think Wheatley's a better player, more athletic. But I think both of those are like free safeties that you really don't want making tackles in the box. Got to get a wide receiver. I'm mad at I ain't mad at the the reason behind it, the thought process, mass, but that was my thought process. That's why I went with a wide receiver. We need a wide. Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? I don't know what the fuck is up with this stream. Hello, hello. Y'all can hear me? All right, we're gonna try to share this screen again. It's like the early days of Command and Conquer. I thought I had this shit down pat, man. I got the Ethernet cable hooked up to the router. I don't know what's going on, man. If y'all know another streaming platform better than StreamYard, holler at me. I don't know what's up with the Wi-Fi. Will I don't know, bro. I don't know. The shit janky. Shit janky today. I'm about to try to pull up the simulator. Hopefully it come up. OBS is what the Twitch streamers use. I think that's probably what it is because we running it through multiple streams. Oh, I use OBS to record my videos, but OBS be fucking lunching too. OBS be lunching too. StreamYard's just easier, but I'm not about to keep paying $50 for this shit. Uh, so as we wait for discuss our first four picks, David Bailey, D'Angelo Ponce. Who was our other pick? Lewis Bond, as All right, bro. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I had to close out the browser. We finished with that first best player available approach. If this joint do that again, I'm gonna just end the stream. I'm sorry for having y'all go through that, but this is what we about to do. This is what we about to do. We going with the trade back approach, and we're gonna start with the trade back approach. I've already started the mock draft for the trade back approach. Who's went? Who's gone so far? Ruben Bain has gone off the board. Carnell Tate. So with the trade back approach, my sole intention is trading back and getting as much draft capital as possible because I think the team can use that. Ruben Bain went off the board at 3. Alville Reese went off the board. Ruben Bain, Carnell Tate, and Jordan Tyson. So Dante Moore still on the board, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, Spencer Fano, and I know y'all like, man, run to the podium for Caleb Downs, right? But we've already done our best player available approach, so we got to deal with every scenario and situation that comes at hand. So while I don't think that we're going to be trading back if Caleb Downs is on the board at 7, if Caleb Downs or David Bailey is on the board at 7, because this is the trade back approach, that's exactly what we're going to do. But we have 3 offers. And if it's not worth it, we're not trading back. But Minnesota wants our pick 7 and pick 221 for picks 18, picks 49, and a second round pick. The Jets want to give up pick 16 and pick 33 for pick 7 and pick 147. The Panthers want to give up pick 19, pick 51, pick 119, and a second round pick next year for pick 7. I don't know if I'm on. What we doing here? I don't know if any trade is worth it, and I didn't think that Caleb Downs and David Bailey were going to be on the board to us at this point. So I can live with selecting Caleb Downs and trading back the rest of the draft. I can live with that. I can live with that. I like the first offer or the Panthers offer. So I can live with that. I can live with doing that and then trading back the rest of the draft. What are we doing? What are we doing, chat? Are we taking the trade or are we selecting Caleb Downs here and trading back the rest of the draft? Because I told y'all, I think he's the best safety prospect since Eric Berry. I really don't want to pass up on that. I really don't. I really don't. So tell me, what we doing, chat? Are we selecting? We trading back? Hey, I only see trading back. I see the Jets offer. I see the Panthers offer. I see 2 Panthers offers. And I get that, understand. I get that reasoning behind it. Like, if we're going to trade back, you might as well trade back all the way. Panthers offer. Fuck it, Downs. I think we got to be true to the trade. All right, bet. Let's be true. Let's be true. You right, George. You right. So we taking the Panthers offer or the Jets? I don't. Minnesota's is decent, but with the Jets, you get a higher second round pick, and you get an earlier pick in the first round. And in Carolina, you get an extra. Is that a third round pick? I see Panthers. Jets 16 and 33. If you want to see what it looks like, go ahead. All right, bet. Let's go. But even with the Jets, we're not getting more capital. We getting higher capital. And we saw, like, with the earlier draft, having more picks in the later rounds ain't better. But I guess you can say that with the Carolina pick as well. All right, let's go with the Jets. So trading 7 for 16 and 33. Jets take Dante Moore. Oh, the Eagles got David Bailey. What the fuck? Keon Sadiq just went off the board. We're on the board at pick 16. Miami's offering pick 43, pick 75. So we're moving back from 16 to 43. Fuck out my face. And then Cleveland's offering pick 24 and pick 70 for 2027 second. And I'll pick 16 and pick 184. But Mekhi Lemon's on the board. Sonny Styles is still on the board. Oh, we got some names still on the board. I think we can take a Mekhi Lemon here, though. Do we trade back? Do we entertain any of those offers, chat? Or do we take a Mekhi Lemon here? Lemon or Sonny Styles for sure. I'm thinking Lemon. I wouldn't be mad at Sonny Styles either. Lemon. All right, bet we go on Mekhi Lemon. That is a decent. No, that's a decent offer from the Browns. I was saying F no to the other one. Lemon sounds good to me. All right, let's go Lemon. Let's go Lemon. Let's go Mekhi Lemon. I think he's the best wide receiver in the draft quad is kept. So I wouldn't be mad at walking away with that with the 16th pick. And remember, after that, we're back on the board with pick 33. Let's go Mekhi Lemon. Denzel Boston off the board. Caden Proctor, Casey Champion. TJ Parker. I was hoping TJ Parker might get to 33. Quiet is kept. I know TJ Parker got a little hive in the fan base. Don't be shocked if he doesn't go first round. All right, so we back on the board at pick 33 with our second pick after trading back from pick 7 and accumulating pick 16 and pick 33. Pick 30, the Vikings are back knocking down our door, offering picks 49 and pick 82 for pick 184 and a 2027 second. Green Bay's offering pick 52 and pick 84. I don't know if I love either one of these trades. So we see the trades that are at hand, chat. Y'all see the trades. Now let's go. Let's see who's on the board. Who's on the board? Caden McDonald's still on the board. I think that could be a hell of a pick at 33. Christian Miller's still on the board. I think that could be a hell of a pick at 33. Anthony Hill. Chad, I might not be able to pass up on Anthony Hill. We need a linebacker. Lemon that. Lemon's that. And I've been saying it, and y'all know the group chat with Tam, Todd, Rio, and shout out to my guys. But I said it as soon as we signed David Blau. I said, I think he might be a reach at 7, right? But don't be surprised if we trade back and draft the Mekhi Lemon. David Blau has had a first-hand point of view of seeing what an Amon-Ra St. Brown can do to an offense. And I think that Mekhi Lemon is Amon-Ra St. Brown with more juice. Might not be as tough and as strong as Amon-Ra St. Brown, but there's a reason why he's going in the further than Amon-Ra St. Brown went in the 4th. I think he's an Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it's not just the college. Like, he's a slot wide receiver. I think he can win on the outside more than Amon-Ra St. Brown can. I'm taking that Vikings trade because the Vikings might suck next year. Yeah, Anthony Hill. Yeah, George, you might have gotten overwritten right here, George. Because Anthony Hill Jr., I ain't mad at that. And then we back at pick 71 again. I would not be mad at that. Let's see what cornerbacks are on the board. Because remember, we got Pons at pick 71 the last time. So if we get an Anthony Hill and then a Pons again, Xavier Scott, Chris Johnson, Julian Mill, Will Lee. I like Will Lee a lot. I like Xavier Scott as well. Don't know if I'm taking any of those. Yeah, so let's go Anthony Hill here. We've already got our wide receiver, so let's go Anthony Hill here. Linebacker out of Texas, sideline and sideline. Oh, Chris Bell is there. Hey, bro. Oh, fuck. I just overlooked Chris Bell. Hey, if Chris Bell's there at 33, bro, I might double dip at the wide receiver position. I love Chris Bell. What the fuck? I'm sorry, chat. I might have took Chris Bell over Anthony Hill if I'm being 100% honest. Not mad at that pick at all. Chris Bell did have an ACL injury, so scratch that. Excuse me. Even Black Adam got a little allergies. How did I just overlook that? All right, back on the board. The Eagles. Damn, I don't like trading with the Eagles. They got us the last time. Offering picks 81 and 117 for picks 71 and 203. The Broncos offering picks 95, 108, and 131. We still don't have a pass rusher yet, y'all. We got Mekhi Lemon, we got Anthony Hill. What edges are on the board? I'm probably best player available approach this year. This draft is ass. Zion Young, I like him. Got a little bit of juice. I think that we can actually trade back and get him if we entertain one of those trade offers. But Oscar Delp is there again, y'all. Oscar Delp is there again. But if we pick here, we don't pick again until what? If we pick here, we don't pick again until pick 184. That's a little nasty. Corner or safety. The Eagles want another trotter on the roster. They gonna add a triple trotters. Isn't Bell? Yes, Bell is hurt. That's why I think he might not go as high as they have him projected. But if you give him a red shirt year, give him a red shirt year. You already got your wide receiver in Mekhi Lemon, and they have Chris Bell coming off the men at the bye week. We're gonna need a bunch of wide receivers. Site edge. I mean, Oscar Delp is clearly better than any edge on the board right now. So let's go Oscar Delp. Let's go Oscar Delp. Mekhi Lemon, Anthony Hill Jr., Oscar Delp, first three picks. What we liking? We liking the best player available approach or the trade back approach better? Which one we like better? Remember, our first 4 picks from the best player available approach before the stream start fucking doing whatever the fuck it was doing. David Bailey, D'Angelo Pons, Lewis Bond, and damn, I'm drawing blanks. Oh, and Zakee Wheatley. We liking the trade back draft or the best player available draft better? Y'all let me know in the chat. I like that draft better. The first one? I like this draft better. You like Lemon? You would rather walk away with a dynamic wide receiver than a dynamic pass rusher? I ain't mad at it. I just think we have no defense again with this one. First one better. Hey, that's what we here for, the differences of approach. Trade back draft better. I mean, in this case scenario, Anthony Hill's gonna have to be a goddamn dude. But this is what happens when you got so many holes in your roster. And shit, we got time to talk. We don't pick again for another 40, 50 picks. And at this point, I think you just taking project defensive players at this point. Project cornerback, a project edge. What edges are still on the board? But shit, man, to be honest, I walked away from the 2025 mock draft session saying, damn, we got to get an edge within the first 3 rounds. And Adam Peters said, "How fuck that shit?" So, like, yeah, I know he mentioned pass rusher. I get it. That might be in free agency, even though the free agency class is mid as well. Shit, if we can get a guy like Romello Height, though, I think that's a nice project edge that we could actually work with. Nobody's offering any trade back. Yeah, I think Romello Height is the pick here. The other edge opposite of David Bailey. Texas Tech had a hellified front seven. It wasn't just David Bailey. It wasn't a David Bailey show. He had another edge in Romello Height that was damn good as well. Not the prospect that David Bailey is, but I think he could give you some instant juice as an edge defender. So we're gonna go ahead and go Romello Height. The edge shit is overblown. The best teams, the best edge teams is ass minus season. Let's sit with that statement for a second. The best edge teams in the league is ass minus Houston. I mean, that's an interesting thesis. I'm trying to think. The best edge. Houston has hellified edges. Who else is still available? The Patriots edges ain't that great. The Bills edges ain't that great. That's a good point, Tracy. I like the Rams edges. I like both of them. I know Verse ain't had the year that we expected him to have, but Byron Young is a damn physical specimen. That's having to take note of. I think we sent a big chunk on it because it's not that great of a draft. It's just an top. Cleveland have Garrett and Nate. Yeah, hey. Seems like my war room on one accord here. All right, so we back at pick 203. This is our second to last pick with the trade back. We pick again at pick 221. I think at this point you got to go with a corner or a secondary player. I don't know much about Charlie Demons. He has good measurables though at 6'1", 190. Jacoby Thomas is a hitter from Miami. I think Jacoby Thomas might actually be the play right here. Because he gives you some range. And you could go worse with a 6th-round pick. We need some help in the secondary. I think he's a better. I think we might need a cornerback more than we need a safety, though. And Charlie Devins looks like he gives you better value. So let's go Charlie Devins. And let's just hope that my man from Miami is there at 221, Jacoby Thomas. Let's hope and pray. Yep, and then Jacoby Thomas is off the board. Last pick of the draft, pick 221 for us. Call me crazy, but I might just draft the variant of Malachi Fields right here and see what we got. Because I don't love any of the cornerbacks available anymore. Don't love any of the safeties available. Yeah, I might just draft the Malachi Fields because we still need a big wide receiver and call it a day. Double dip at the wide receiver position. Varian Brown, you be the first. Oh, never mind. All right, so that'll do it for the trade back draft, our second draft. You preaching to the choir, bro. You preaching to the choir. George said pick kicker at pick 221. Bro, I've been saying for the last couple of months. Yeah, Mikey Savage still. I agree. He might very well be better on the boundary than he is at the slot. I'll be a fool to not think that based off of his play at each position this year. But he's going to always have physical limitations. He's always going to be at a physical disadvantage at the boundary cornerback position. So our trade back draft, Malachi Lemon, Oscar Delp, Anthony Hill, Romello Height, Charlie Demons, Malachi Fields. How we feeling about this draft? How we feeling about this draft? I think, do we like this draft better than the best player available draft? I don't know. I'm not sure. Because at least with the best player available draft, while I only ended up with 4 picks due to the fucking stream crashing, I did walk away with my David Bailey. I don't know if I like any of these players for Washington as much as I like David Bailey, but Mekhi Lemon and Oscar Delp are going to be automatic helps to Jayden Daniels and his David Blau offense. So that'll do it for our mock draft Monday 1.0 stream. It was rough. I'm going to call stream y'all as soon as this ended, but I appreciate y'all sticking it out, duking it out with us. We're doing these every Monday from here till the actual draft in April. So make sure you come join us in the war room. Got to put my hat on as Black Adam, no Rocky, because we're doing this every Monday from here until April. I appreciate y'all joining us in the war room. Come do it again with us next Monday. Go ahead and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. And yeah, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll check in on y'all on the flip side.